This is the process shot. I'm Michael. I'm wearing jeans and a shirt. And I have a review of the new Craig Gillespie movie, Cruella, a kind of comedy drama crime film that presents an origin story for Cruella de Vil, the antagonist of 101 Dalmatians. Set in 1970s London, Cruella grows up as Estella, an aspiring fashion designer who becomes a career criminal after the death of her mother. Eventually, Estella ends up working for the Baroness, the most popular fashion designer in the city, only for her to learn that she's the one responsible for her mother's death. With the help of her friends Jasper and Horace, she takes revenge by upstaging the Baroness's fashion galas with her own designs, striking blow after blow to her ego until she finally chooses to strike back. The story is pretty tight and complete, with no loose ends, and I chalk that up mostly to how the film pretty much adheres to the structural formula from Save the Cat, which I found in The Office and has been kind of boring, but it helps pass the time when I'm making popcorn out in the lobby. Anyways, long story short, it's a formula that you tend to notice everywhere when you know it exists. And it exists here in Cruella. They basically take the character from 101 Dalmatians and give her an origin story that, for some reason, is set in 1970s London during a punk revolution. But that really isn't played with all that much outside of the scenes where Cruella takes arms against the Baroness. The elements are there, but they aren't really integral to the story or characters, or at least not more overtly. There's no real indication that the punk nature of Cruella and her acts are having any influence on the world around her, like random people adopting her outfits or rejecting the Baroness's designs. It's something that's all a bit jarring, especially given the importance of fashion and textiles in the film, both story-wise and within its visuals. You have the Baroness and her clothing line being more traditionally driven, and Cruella and her fashion designs taking a bolder approach. But other than the radical visual difference and approach to their presentation, there doesn't seem to be more to the conflict other than Cruella just trying to show up the Baroness. The fashion elements of the story just end up taking a backseat to the larger character conflict. Sure, it makes sense to focus on the characters and developing their relationship with each other, but it would have been nice if there was some way to better integrate the fashion choices into that conflict, especially since it could have helped jumpstart a greater theme of a generational divide between the characters. Out with the old, in with the new, stuff like that. It's a missed opportunity for Cruella and the Baroness to have something else that would illustrate their distaste for each other. As for Cruella and the Baroness, they're portrayed relatively well by Emma Stone and Emma Thompson, respectively. Their chemistry is very much a back-and-forth power struggle, with moments of balance before the scale tips in one's favor, and the two play off of each other with a sense of rivalry and begrudging respect. Emma Thompson tends to camp it up, knowing full well that her character is the primary villain, so the Baroness comes through with a bit of unbelievability. Emma Stone keeps things rather level, though the issue with her performance is that she puts on a rather thick accent as Cruella. It's more subdued when she takes up the Estella persona, and presumably it's ramped up to differentiate the two, but it comes out with a bit of silliness that still prevents you from really being able to take her seriously. Beyond this, Cruella pretty much handles its other cinematic aspects well. Cinematography isn't memorable, but there are some creative choices, although it's likely augmented by CGI. Lighting and color choices of the set are also pretty well laid out, though there's nothing truly thematic in the designs. In the end, I don't think Cruella is all that bad of a movie. It's not all perfect, but it's not unwatchable or a waste of time. It's actually kind of fun at some points, though that's mostly because I feel like the filmmakers have managed to get their formula down pat, and it's a formula that they don't want to stray from all that much, to try and cut into something deeper. It's nice to see that the cast and crew had fun, but it's unfortunately not enough to really make this something worth seeing more than once or twice, unless you really like the outfits. Cruella, Craig Gillespie, 2021. 3.5 stars. Again, it's probably worth seeing once, but it's not necessarily worth repeat viewings. But that's just me. Anyways, that's all I've got. Like, comment, sub, etc. Maybe I should make a video about Save the Cat one day. Maybe not. I don't think I've cracked the algorithm yet anyway.